or rather, it's the kids, 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 man.
You're the only kid, bro. I'm a big man.
So my fellow children, what happened on Thursday, man? The people were waiting. They were looking forward to it. I'm sure Sammy sent about 300 billion questions on Thursday and everything, and then boom, man. What happened, man?
Neeks, do you wanna?
For me, it was my birthday.
Have you recovered? Happy birthday! Have you recovered?
Oh yeah. Actually, Nick. So did people tweet you happy birthday? I told them to tweet you happy birthday.
Did you tweet me happy birthday? I don't think you did.
Oh no! I said did the people, did the streets tweet you happy birthday?
Did you tweet me happy birthday?
No. Oh, I think I did. Yeah. Yo, wait, fix up your mic. Your mic is quite low.
Better.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. So they tweeted me happy birthday. I didn't get anything from you though.
No, but that was my happy birthday. I was telling the people to tweet you, so that was my happy birthday.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. So first of all, unless because I don't have an age, like I don't know how old I am. So how old are you?
I'm still under 30, innit? I'm still under 30. That's the important thing.
Okay, right? So you're 12. So how did you go around about tweeting your 12th birthday? Did you dance around like Rashford? Did you try to convince me that Bruno Fernandes is just another average hyper job or what?
I just, I went to the park, got some fresh air. Because
did you social distance?
Well, a big park, innit? Frenzy Park is a big park, so there's a lot of
Frenzy Park, yeah.
Everyone to
Did you have Ray and his nephew with you?
Actually, I didn't. But I had Bayesian, Mount Gay. No relation to any political movements out there. And I had some G&T, some Desperados. We don't drink Corona, so
Poor Corona, man.
I know.
Poor Corona.
What did Corona?
Who named the virus Corona? How did it get that name? Who named it coronavirus? Because
because I think coronavirus, they should sue the disease namer. Whoever names disease, Corona say, wait. Just name it the Lumilana disease or something. There's no drink called Lumilana. Why name it what we're called? Because there are people dumb enough,
Yeah, I wonder what the share price is if they had a hit or anything around the time that coronavirus is really kicking off.
1,000%.
I've seen pictures where people have gone to the store and all the other alcohol's gone, and you just see bare case of Corona. People are really, really stupid, really, because the disease is not in the name. It's it's something different to the actual lager, but it is what it is.
And today, so you were obviously working late.
Yeah, I was working late.
Putting in that shit.
Yeah, man.
Trapping on the roads.
I wish.
All right, so guys,
did I see you in Bristol yesterday, Devo? Somewhere around the statue or something like that.
I would have loved to have been there.
Look, man, I don't care whether this is a football thingy. I'm so glad that slave traders statue was put down, shut the hell up about said, criminal charges. And also my Congolese people in Belgium do want it to be done. Get that Leopold II statue the F out of there, man. Please. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Guys. So football is slowly coming back. This week, of course, we have La Liga officially returns this week. Saturday, Barcelona have their game. I forgot who it's against. I think it's Real Mallorca that they have on Saturday, and on Sunday Real Madrid have Eibar. But officially, it'll be Betis against Sevilla on Thursday. So that's
a big game. That's a big game to come back to.
So basically, Premier Sports. I'm sorry, I had to come away. Premier Sports. I'll be back. I'm coming back. I'm coming home. Premier Sports. You're having my flipping £8. You bloody over expensive pricks. So, but obviously, so we will not do much Premier League because we're going to do a special Premier League preview show on the Monday. We'll do a special Premier League preview show on the Monday, and that's what we'll do. And also, I think I'll probably mention that afterwards with regards to a special thing we'll do on the Patreon guys with regards to top 4 in the Premier League and all that kind of stuff. But this show, we're going to talk about Werner, man. and Chelsea. So this was pretty much the big news, and I think this has been the big transfer news since all of this COVID stuff was your boy Timo Werner is seemingly going to be heading over to Chelsea. So let's just break it down in pieces first. So let us start first with Liverpool and Werner. So let me come first to Devil. Do you think that actually? So from 2 points then. So the first point is from a formational strategic point of view. Do you think this is a big loss for Liverpool in terms of he would have been a great fit? And from the second point of view, do you think that this may be frustrating in terms of Liverpool making a statement in trying to buy players? Because I'm not hearing that they've now gone from that to Adama Traore. So that's what I'm saying.
Easy. Yeah, I think. Firstly, in terms of what they want to do tactically, it is a blow because you could see they have Origi, who is the backup to Firmino, really, and you could see Firmino and Origi don't do the same thing. Werner would be to replace Origi, and he is 5 times the player that Origi is. So you can see what they want to do there. It's kind of a direct replacement, but an upgrade at the same time. So there's certain games where Firmino is not really working, and you need a more direct goal threat from your front player, which shouldn't really be said, but that's the way that Liverpool play. Firmino is, as we call him, a defensive striker or box-to-box striker. There's going to be times where you need that deadly goal threat, which is what Timo Werner gives you as a front man. And he could drift out wide. He can interchange with Salah or Mane if need be at certain times. He's quite a flexible player up front, but he's a goal scorer. So obviously, tactically, it's a massive blow that they're not getting him. In terms of...
Okay, so where do you play him then? In the Liverpool team then, where do you play him?
He will play up front. The thing is, Firmino will play certain games. And then it might be when it's not really working, you need something different, you bring on Werner. There might be games where you analyze the opponent and say, right, Werner will work well on this one because, we want to get from back to front as quick as possible. We're going to have Werner ready for the counter-attack, ball through into space. We've all seen how quick Werner is. He's rapid. Do you know what I mean? That gives defenses something else to think about. So it's about having different styles of play. At the moment, Liverpool have one style of play which works. It works very, very well with Firmino. But if you bring Werner into it, you now have a plan B, which is also extremely effective. So it is a blow for Liverpool not to get him. I think it is frustrating for Liverpool fans because, firstly, all fans want to see signings. They all want to see big signings. Liverpool
Nick,
fans...
stop smiling.
No, for me, Liverpool fans will be very frustrated also as well because you're the best team in the world at the moment. I've heard many Liverpool fans say, who wouldn't want to play for Klopp? We could sign anyone. We could sign this. We could sign that. And I've always said, Liverpool don't sign stars. Who was the last star that Liverpool signed? Who was the last player?
Torres wasn't really a star, was he?
No, they don't. They make
Xabi Alonso wasn't really a star.
Yeah, they bring in players with potential. They make stars. That's what they do. That's not a slight against Liverpool.
Andy Carroll.
Actually, Devil, remember the convo we had back when we did what's it called? Banter Meets Hope. And I was saying to the boys that I was saying to Drifty and Matt that if the big stars go to a Real Madrid, they go to Barcelona, they don't really go to a Liverpool. I'm like, but as you just said rightfully, when was the last big major star that Liverpool bought?
Yeah, and that's not a slight.
If you're a star, Real Madrid, Barcelona.
Yeah, that's not a slight on Liverpool at all because
it is what it is.
Man City don't sign stars either. They don't. They buy players with a lot of potential, make them into stars. The only difference is Man City have always been able to keep them, whereas Liverpool have had to sell them before now. But Werner would have been a big statement signing. And what Liverpool fans have to admit, and it is annoying, outside of probably Manchester United, players will always look to go to London. Players' families always look to go to London. Chelsea are very attractive because A, they're successful, B, they're London, they're fashionable. Werner and his family will probably think, yeah, let's go live in London. I don't particularly want to live in Liverpool. Do you understand what I mean? So there's that side of it as well. And also, it's got to be frustrating to lose out on another player to someone like Chelsea. Because Liverpool have lost out on players before. Chelsea, obviously, you'd think Lampard's a new manager. Who would any player in the world want to play for Klopp over Lampard? That's not happened. You think Chelsea haven't really looked great over the last couple seasons. Liverpool are the best team in the world. Still, he's gone to Chelsea. So it must be frustrating as a Liverpool fan, thinking, well, why? How has this happened? The only team that had been linked with him for months was Liverpool. Then all of a sudden, Chelsea are like, you know what, now we'll have him. It might also be to do with what's going on with the economy as well, because a lot of clubs probably can't spend that kind of money. And Liverpool, it might have been like, yeah, we can spend it, but Chelsea are like, nah, man, Roma's got cash, money, do it. So there's a bit of a different approach as well.
All right, so before I come to next, let me just hit this super chat. It says, GDBO says, HH, why do you talk about Cruyff and Di Stefano as if they are Rashford? Whoa, what the heck?
What?
They were almost as skilled as Messi, and they went past people on muddy pitches. Well, JD, thank you very much for the super chat. So, but put very simply, Cruyff bricked it in the World Cup final. Last I checked, he doesn't have a World Cup. Di Stefano, quality, club merchants. All he did was a club football, never did anything internationally. That's what I always say. I respect what they both did. But if you want to get into the VIP club where the food is free, champagne is lovely, give me the World Cup. If you don't have the World Cup, stay outside. The bouncer will see you to the main floor. The VIP room is World Cup only. The VIP room, look, the dance floor is great. The DJ plays great music. This VIP room is World Cup only. Get to the flipping dance floor. If you make noise, the bouncer kicks you out. That's how it happens. Nix. So same thing again. Should Liverpool fans be angry that they missed out? No, sorry. So do you think that this was a big miss in terms of Werner would have worked for them strategically? And what does this say with the fact that they missed out on this target?
I think the beauty of a team of Werner is that he can play, I was going to say anywhere across the front three, but at least 2 out of the 3 positions, i.e. he's a converted winger. Like the likes of Aubameyang, Dries Merton, they are strikers now, but they are very, very adept from the left. And Timo Werner at times starts on the left. If I'm correct, I think in the Spurs game, especially definitely at White Hart Lane, he started on the left. In many of the games for RB Leipzig in the league, he plays in a 2-man partnership. So he's not solely a number 9 box, in the penalty box striker kind of thing. He's got a lot of assets to his game, and the way that Klopp's front three are so mobile and interchangeable, we know how much Firmino drops deep, and then the 2 inside forwards become goal scorers. Those positions will be perfect for Timo Werner because he is one of the most lethal goal scorers in Europe, and he can attack from the left. So I think he would have suited Liverpool brilliantly. And I think the fact that Klopp has gone in for him, you'd have to think he would, because Klopp isn't an idiot. Klopp knows what players he wants, what players he needs. His tactics and his strategy is very well versed in European football. He's not a new kid on the block. He's done it at Dortmund. He's doing it at Liverpool. He knows what he needs. And he's seen, obviously, that Werner can offer that. So the fact that Klopp wanted him and didn't get him says to me, and we know how good he is as fans, says to me it's a big miss. Just by that. Klopp did a lot to try and get him, spoke to him personally. And even when they had to let him down, basically saying that they can't afford him, Klopp went and spoke to him again and told him, it's not to do with you. I would love to have you, but basically we can't afford it. So big loss for Liverpool. And it's a big loss even in terms of just the mindset of now Liverpool fans thinking, so if we can't get Werner for 50 million, and when you think about it, obviously pre-COVID, 50 million pounds, 60 million euros is nothing in today's market. It's really nothing. Or should I say yesterday's market? We don't know.
Yo, Nick, relax, man. Give me some of that 50 million. I could do it with it. 50 million is still something to me.
Well, not to Jeff Bezos or whatever his name is.
Shout out to Jeff Bezos for exposing racists, by the way. Bezos doing a lot of work.
But the 50 million for a striker. Like, Man United are touted with certain strikers, like Moussa Dembele from Lyon, 50 million. He ain't got the pedigree of a Timo Werner yet. He could well get there, but he ain't got that. So if we're talking about 50 million for a Timo Werner, that is really pocket change in yesterday's market. Liverpool's issue is they don't know what today's market or tomorrow's market is actually. 50 million today could send them into big problems in the future if they were to spend it, because no one really knows the financial situation. So it's a problem for Liverpool because now you think, if we can't afford 50 million for Werner, who do we get? Because we can't say, okay, we can't get Werner for 50 million, so let's go out and get a Sancho. Sancho's costing double the price. We can't say, we can't get 50 million for Werner, but let's go and get a Kai Havertz. He's costing more than 50. I'll tell you that for a fact. So who do you go for? You mentioned, who's the players that you mentioned, Devo?
No, I'm saying that Origi looks like they're going to try and move him on. Shaqiri. So they might try and recoup.
I thought there were some players you were mentioning that there was rumors that they might be going in for. I thought
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I saw someone in the chat talking about them, but for me, it's like
someone in the chat mentioned who that player is. Go on.
Yeah, but who do they go out and get now? Which quality? Because they're gonna need quality to improve them. You can't just go and get any nobody because they've got a few nobodies in the squad. The likes of Shaqiri, I think Lallana's leaving now. They need to go and get quality, and Timo Werner is really that.
And, H said about Adama Traore.
Oh yeah, Adama Traore.
Yeah, Adama Traore. Yeah.
So if Liverpool want to stay at the top and go and win more Premier Leagues and more Champions League, they have to strengthen. But if they ain't got the money to do it, it's gonna be difficult because Man City will spend. Chelsea are spending. We're talking about one of their potential players right now. Man United will spend. Leicester ain't no poor team, so they just need. And we haven't even spoken about Europe, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern, etc. Liverpool, I'm not going to blame the owners because I don't manage their finances. But if they want to remain at the top, 50 million for Werner can't be turned down. And if that's the precedent you're setting, it's going to be difficult for them to remain at the top year in, year out.
Okay. This is where you have to look at as well, because remember, Liverpool were just about to the whole stadium plans and everything like that. It was about to go ahead. So they've probably got money tied up in that, and this has probably hit them very hard when you think about it. Even beforehand, with what's Anfield's capacity? It's not that much.
Not much.
They don't make that much from match day revenue when you compare them to an Arsenal or to a Tottenham now or to United. Do you know what I mean? Those guys make a lot of match day revenue. So Liverpool, they can't really play in the same, in the same playground when you're looking at revenue intake, unless you're looking at commercial deals and so on and so forth. So where people like Chelsea and Man United are calm because, whatever happening, they're making money. They've got money. Do you know what I mean? They can spend money. Liverpool are now in a situation where as you said, if we spend, what's going to happen in the future? So they've kind of been caught out with this whole situation, whereas Chelsea are just like, okay, we'll take that advantage and let's move ahead. It's a tough time for Liverpool.
It also shows that like the level of spending that they have done, it shows the level of spending they've actually done in the past.
Yeah.
People like to speak and like Liverpool, came from nothing and somehow won the Champions League and Premier League. Yes, we know you sold Coutinho, yeah, cool. You spent 75 million on Van Dijk, 70 million on Alisson, 50 million on what's his name?
Fabinho.
Keita. Mo Salah and Mane were about 30 million. Firmino was 30 million. They've spent money. Money has been spent, but spent wisely. But the fact that it's been spent, you have to say maybe the well has run a bit drier at the moment, and it's going to take a few years. The fact that we're going to get onto that, the fact that Chelsea are spending like they look like they're going to be doing this summer, they had a transfer ban last year. They had a whole year without signing someone, and previous to that, not previous to that, last season they've sold the likes of Morata, the likes of Hazard. They've had to sell players, have a whole year out, and now they're going again. So, yeah.
And another thing that's probably hit Liverpool hard? They're not going to be able to sell none of their players to Bournemouth no more. Bournemouth ain't got no money to buy their rubbish. So where are they going to sell their players now?
Actually, I want to ask you guys something before we move on over to Chelsea. Let me just read. So Virus says that Koeman gave PSV and Barca the first CL. Screw the World Cup goats. Joe's best thing. Let me just say something right now. No matter what you say about Neymar, no matter what you say about Ronald Koeman, you will never convince one of the most stubborn people in the world about this. Ronald Koeman is cool. He's not one of the best defenders in the world. Neymar is cool. Go and win me a World Cup and stop flipping, doing stuff with your mom and your. Okay, look, let's not even go there. Before we go over to Chelsea, this decade, moving forward right now, to be the best, you've got to keep on buying players. If you don't have like a Messi, a freak of nature, you got to keep on buying players. And I suggested that, this could be Liverpool's decade, where they could really have a strong decade of dominance. But the fact that they've missed out on a Werner and so forth, do you think that their inability to attract the top talent means that it'll be hard for them to have a dominance this decade if we assume Klopp will stay?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did they not also miss out on Pepe? They were in for Pepe, weren't they? Or am I just...
You mean Arsenal's Pepe?
Yeah, last summer. Am I just completely...
I don't think so.
I never heard that.
I'm sure I remember discussion of or Liverpool fans talking about Pepe. Maybe I'm completely wrong. There must be someone in the summer they were going after. Because we know they didn't sign anyone. Was there not someone last summer they were going after and they just didn't get anyone in the end? Maybe I'm completely wrong. I can't remember, but yeah.
I can't remember. Possibly. Possibly. But I mean, even to on your point that you were saying about if you don't buy players, then you're not going to stay at the forefront. You mentioned Barcelona and Messi being a freak of nature, but they still had to sign players to accommodate in the team. They went out and bought a Suarez. Do you know what I mean? They had Messi. They went out and bought Neymar. Do you know what I mean? They that one didn't really work out, but they've still bought players to try and stay ahead of the game. Some of them have worked, some of them haven't. But you can't be at the top and just sit there and just stand still. You have to be ahead of the game. You know what I mean? There's never been a team that has dominated. Even Bayern Munich. Look at that Bayern Munich. Juventus. They win the league every year. What do they do in the summer? Buy new players.
From their rivals.
From their rivals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Liverpool can't really do that. So they haven't really got that tactic in their locker. But you have to improve.
There's a few people in the chat saying they were linked with Pepe, and they mentioned Fekir. Fekir was the summer before, but that wasn't financial why they didn't get him.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was weird though.
That was to do with like medical and that kind of stuff. But the Pepe one, they were definitely linked with him. I don't think they put in a bid, but the talk was that it's 72 million. Why are you going to spend that kind of money on someone who's going to be sub to Mo Salah? So when you think about it, someone like Man City, they're spending 50, 60 million on Mahrez and he's going on the bench. That's the market we're competing in, where you're buying Real Madrid don't want Gareth Bale. That's where you're competing. They're trying to get rid of a 600,000 a week player, and you can't afford to buy a 72 million Pepe because you've got Mo Salah. So it's going to be difficult. I'm not saying they can't do it. They've got a world-class manager. They've got world-class players. But when you look at the last two seasons, obviously, yeah, we know they went very deep into the title race last year, and then we're going to win it this year. Out of the FA Cup early, out of the League Cup early. Same again this season. Now, of course, yes, they won the Champions League last year, but they're out of the Champions League this year. Do they need a better squad if they're really going to dominate?
That's a great question, because when you look at Liverpool's squad on paper, it's thin. It's not the most deep of squads. I mean, especially in the midfield. It's a very strong
first team, not a strong squad.
Yeah, especially in the midfield. I mean, this doesn't happen to many teams, but if you took Salah, Mane, and Firmino out all at the same time, that team, do you know what I mean? If you took those three out, it's not like if Man City, if they lost Aguero, Sterling, and Sane, they've still got Mahrez, Jesus, and Silva. Do you know what I mean?
It's African Nations Cup. African Nations Cup next year.
Yeah.
Just like that. So. Yeah, Firmino happens to be injured at the same time.
Yeah,
you can't bring it. You can't bring it.
So before we go over to Chelsea, I mean, maybe Dev, you can answer this. How far is Arsenal from competing? How many signings?
You know what? I don't even think it's the signings. It's the whole club mentality and philosophy from top to bottom. We need to. I think Arteta needs to be given time to cement his philosophy, and we need to actually. We need Kroenke to support the club and make the correct decisions financially. So if Arteta does need to sign some players, then he's given the money to do so. And then we need to just change that mentality into a believing that we can win mentality. Because for years...
So don't think there are any signings that are needed for this team?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we do need signings. We do need signings. But I think first we need to sort out the mentality. There's no point in bringing it, because we've had signings. We've bought players. You know what I mean? We spent money, but it hasn't worked because the mentality of the club is frail. Do you know what I mean? There's not a winning mentality around the club. Everyone knows they could come to the Emirates and enjoy themselves. It's a dance floor. Do you know what I mean? So we need to change that around. We need to get players who are willing to go the extra mile. Bring in, yes, obviously we're going to need some signings. We're going to need central midfielders. Going to need a centre back. Probably going to need a striker. But they need to be the right players. Look at someone like a Liverpool, for example. Klopp went in there. It took him a while to sort out his philosophy. Get the players that believe in and can play in the way he wants. Build an identity. And look at the players that Liverpool have now. If you'd have said 3-4 years ago that team would have been the best in the world, everyone would have laughed in your face. Because the players, the names aren't the best. When they signed Salah, everyone was like, eh. When they signed Mane, he's like, yeah, he's a good player, but eh. You know what I mean? When they signed these players, no one was like, that's a world beater.
Mm.
That was ingrained in them by Klopp's philosophy. And that's what we need to work on.
Okay. So now time for us to talk about the big cheese. You know, this is the big cheese right now. Werner to Chelsea. So,
Crooks.
Okay. Next, what is the meaning of that statement? What do you mean by crooks?
William, Robert, Essien,
Okay.
Mikel, Mata, Maluda, Jorginho.
Yeah.
How do you want to carry on? How many players have you lot just stolen from under your rival's feet like a rat?
It's not theft. It's not theft. It's love.
Crooks.
It's love. It's called love. Look, do you know who Bram is? Bram is that dude. People don't realize who Bram is. Bram is from the streets. Okay, I'm not going to reveal how he achieved his funds and everything, but when Bram wants the player, he gets the player because it's Bram.
What's that woman's name? Who
Marina.
Yeah, that woman is serious. That woman is serious. She puts in some serious work, man. She gets stuff done.
She's from Ukraine, I think, man. So actually, it's a European woman. They don't play. Trust me, in and out of bed. So that's the thing. So let me come first to Nix with this man. Simple question: will this move work for Chelsea on the pitch, footballing wise? Is this a signing that you think works and can click for how Chelsea play and Werner's football characteristics?
I mean, anything's an upgrade on Tammy Abraham, isn't it? So,
Nick, man, come on, man, Nick, come on, grow up. Wait, Nick, you're like 40 something years old. Grow up, man, mature. The heck?
We got it, guys. We got it. Nah, in all honesty, brilliant signing. Brilliant. Obviously, it hasn't gone through yet. It's not done onto the fat lady things. I don't know how big Marina is, but it's a very, very good signing. As I've mentioned earlier, he can play off the left. He can play through the middle, which means that one, you give competition for Tammy Abraham, and we know Giroud signed a new 1-year contract. Michy Batshuayi should be out, hopefully, because he ain't good enough. I say hopefully, from Chelsea's perspective. He ain't good enough for what Lampard wants to achieve with them. And Tammy Abraham needs the competition. He needs the that kind of pressure on him, because last year, or this season, started off very well, and then he dipped in the middle of the season. He started scoring again a bit later on. But because Chelsea don't have any other options, you just play, and hope that he returns to form. Lampard's been calling out for some goals in his team, and Werner will definitely add that. Pedro ain't been anything like the player he was when Chelsea bought him. Willian, we know he's out of contract, and he's going to be leaving. Pulisic, well, he's been out injured, so
he's called the sick. Please, can you name him by his name? He's called the sick.
We're not calling him that.
No one's calling him that.
And Callum Hudson-Odoi, well, we're yet to see exactly what he can do. We know the talent's there, but for whatever reason, we have to see injuries, etc. Timo Werner is going to add goals to the front line, and goals is a currency that you cannot shirk at, and one that Chelsea struggled, especially at home against weak opposition. And so it'll be interesting to see what Lampard does, whether he sticks to his one up front and plays him as a main striker and Tammy Abraham off the bench, or at times he may change to a 2. We haven't really seen it, but a 2 to play him alongside Tammy Abraham, or just plays him off the left in a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 to link with Tammy. Tammy is a good player. He's not proven to be a lethal goal scorer, but because of his good interplay, that could create a good partnership, even coming off the left. You might look at similar to a Lacazette Aubameyang, in the sense that Lacazette ain't a lethal goal scorer, but his ability to hold up play, pass, etc., that allows, well, I say allows Aubameyang. Aubameyang's going to score whenever, but it creates a good partnership with Aubameyang. So it's a possibility that can be done at Chelsea. But yeah, for that kind of price, it's a no-brainer.
Let me just quickly hit this super chat. Said, for free agents, is London the best place in England? Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
London is the best place. Although what I will say is this, because this reminds me of something, and I will hold this forever. Obi Mikel, you screwed up. Yes, I know you wanted to live in England and everything. I will say this, and I don't care what anyone says. If Obi Mikel stayed for Man United instead of obsessively wanting to go to London, you would have become the Nigerian Zidane. So, thoughts on this Werner thing to Chelsea? Do you think this leave Chelsea?
It's obviously a good signing, but I do believe that the signing would have made more sense for Liverpool than it does Chelsea. I think Liverpool probably needed him more than Chelsea do. I think so. I think when you look at the way that Chelsea play with Tammy Abraham, Lampard's put a lot of faith in Abraham. I know Werner can play from the left, but they've got Pulisic, they've got Cho. They were linked with Sancho. I'm guessing now that they're no longer going to go ahead with that, which kind of leaves the door open for Man United. But I think it will work. Obviously, Werner is a good player, and if you're a big club, you want the best players, so they will make it work. I think it's interesting what Nick's was saying about they could possibly go for a partnership. I think it would be quite similar to the partnership that Werner's played in at Leipzig in terms of Poulsen is a really physical type of striker, and Abraham's quite a physical striker. And he's worked well in that kind of partnership before. Also, another interesting thing is it brings the age down Chelsea's front line quite considerably. Willian obviously is towards the end of his career. Pedro's towards the end of his career. So having Werner, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Abraham, if you could keep them together, that's the Mount, yeah.
Look, a guy like that. Look, man, what that guy did. Listen, man, look, I too vexed, man.
Mason Mount is a very integral part of. He's an integral part of Lampard's plans. You just have to accept that he is Lampard's boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Lampard leaves, then Mount will probably go where he goes next. It's like Harry Redknapp and Cranshaw. It's the same thing. Harry Redknapp and Defoe or Crouch. Lampard has Mount. That's just what he has. So I think Werner is an exciting signing. Even just as a Chelsea fan, to say that you got one up on a rival is exciting. But he's a goal scorer. Liverpool especially, yeah. He's a goal scorer. You know what you get with him. He stretches the field. You could play, if you're playing counter-attack or whatever and you're bringing teams onto you and you get that ball in space, he's gone. He is quick. He is gone. And generally when he has a chance, unless he's playing against who was it he missed bare chances against? Was it Tottenham earlier this season? Yeah. That's the only game I've seen him be so wasteful. Usually he's deadly. So it's a great signing. And as you said, for 50 million, that seems like a steal, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with the economy. But good signing.
You have to wait and see Chelsea because we speak about Drogba, we speak about Diego Costa, but their record with strikers since the Abramovich era ain't been great.
It's not great.
Wait. Nick's hold on, because
Kesman,
like if you read my mind, yes, Said, Chelsea is a club that destroys a striker's career. Can I just respond to this very quickly? First of all, what's my name? Have hope. Yes, Said, being pessimistic and having negative thoughts will only affect you negatively. Please think positively. Second thing, I get it. Shevchenko, I get it. What's it called? Blondie, Well, Morata was already finished. Morata was already finished before he came to Chelsea, so Morata doesn't count.
Crespo had a good record at Chelsea.
He was decent, but the fact that he couldn't, like, considering his pedigree, why he should be up there when we're speaking about Chelsea's.
Wait, who?
Crespo. But Crespo had a decent record.
But
his goal record went bad.
How good was Crespo really? How good was Crespo really? How good?
That goal he scored in the
really?
He couldn't do it. I also mentioned Morata,
Mutu, Kesman. There's loads of them.
And Torres, 50 million Torres.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want
No. That was a flop.
But you know, one thing I will say as well, even this money that Chelsea is spending on Werner, one thing we know about Chelsea is they'll be able to recoup it. Even if they don't get it from him, they'll sell Ross Barkley for 25. They'll sell Tomori for 50 million to someone. Chelsea are crooks. Do you know what I mean? They'll do what needs to be done. You know what I mean? If they got players sitting around, they could probably sell the dinner lady for 20, 25. You know what I mean? 25 mil somehow.
All right, so let's expand this more now and focus this now much more on Mr. Frankie Lampard, man. So I had questions about Lampard, and that's why I haven't called him Francis. I called him Francis at one point. But do you believe that moving forward, Lampard is actually the man for the job, and he can really be the guy that really makes Chelsea as competitive as they were under a Mourinho, as under a Conte, and so forth? Or do you think that once they really get the team fully intact, Bram needs to go in a different direction? I mean, let me just kick this off before I go to Devil. I want the treble. I want that treble. I want that treble. I think Chelsea need to get into the whole treble mix. They need to get into the treble mix, and because I want the treble, because I'm greedy. They call me HG, half greed. So and the thing about HG is that
who calls
let me land, man. Let me land.
Who calls you that? I'm just wondering.
Okay, look, they call me HG. They call me HG. So
who?
They call them, all these guys. They call me HG. The thing about HG is that because I'm so greedy and I want every single trophy, Lampard isn't the man to bring that. But the flip side of the coin is, could he, if given the players, be a Pep? Because again, who knew that Pep could do all those things? But you want to go on the flip side of that? Without Messi, Pep isn't sniffing a CL. Without hundreds amounts of money. So really, how good was Pep really? That's a separate thing. So my thing is, Lampard has impressed me in what he's done with the transfer ban, with the restrictions. Coming in as pretty much as a rookie, he has been impressive. But to really compete with what Klopp and Pep are doing, I forget Goleman and United, forget those guys. To really compete with those guys, I just think that Chelsea do need a more higher tier manager. But the key thing is this: if they do replace a Lampard, they need someone who has the same offensive philosophy. They can't go back to the Conte or the they can't go back to the whole Conte thing. So,
you see the thing is, sorry, there's a super chat from Martin Rosario, by the way.
Okay, go for it.
The thing is, with Lampard, the worst thing Chelsea could do right now is to sack him, because he's built a relationship with the players, he's built a relationship with the fans, and as it stands, to be fair, he's got the trust of the board. Hence why they were willing to splash out on ZX. I say splash out, it's still money in it, even though the market might say it's a bargain.
Wow, I forgot about him.
On ZX, they're going to splash out the money on Timo Werner. They're looking to get Chilwell from Leicester. So they are willing to put their faith in Lampard for this rebuild, and they're bringing in quality players. It looks like they're bringing quality players at the same time to now get rid of them, because from what I'm hearing is that the fact that Timo Werner came, once he knew he couldn't go to Liverpool, he wanted to come to Premier League. But Lampard having the trust of the board, so Werner knowing that he ain't going to be sacked in 2 months of the new season, is a reason why he would join, because you don't want that uncertainty as a new player. So if they were to get rid of Lampard, there's a lot of other players now. They're like questioning all these youngsters, Tomori, Matt Mount, Tammy Abraham, Gilmore, etc., Reece James. They're going to be questioning, is this the right thing for me? Are we going to get an opportunity here? Is it going to go back to the old regime where managers are just hired and fired like that? Young players aren't given a chance because they need to success straight away. So I think Lampard is the perfect manager right now. He's done enough in this season to give him the time, and time will tell. Time will tell whether or not he's good enough. But he's bought himself that time to sit in 4th place. As bad as the race for 4th has been, he is in 4th place. He's in the Champions League position, and it's his to lose. So I just say you have to give him time. He's proved so far what he can do. Is it going to be enough? We have to wait and see.
Are Chelsea still in the FA Cup?
I don't know.
I think they are.
Who did they play last?
Wait,
I can't remember.
Because no, I think Chelsea lost to United in the Carling Cup. Because again, that was the game that me and Ford watched, the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, we definitely beat you in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
But when we beat you the other day when Maguire scored, was that Premier League? Yeah,
I think that must have been Premier League.
Yeah, so you must be in FA Cup still. I don't know who you're playing, but yeah.
Okay.
All right, Dev?
Yeah. No, the only reason I'm asking that is because Chelsea for the last decade or so have been the most successful club in England in terms of the trophies won. So Lampard, as well as he's done this season, I think really this season was a given for him. It was kind of like a clean slate. It was a very difficult job to come into with the transfer ban, the whole Sarri mess, Hazard leaving. He's put a good stamp on the team. You can see that they're all playing for him. They're playing in a certain style, which Lampard obviously looks to play. He's been back to Ziyech, Werner, some very good attacking players. They've got a very good nucleus of young players. Next season will be the acid test for Frank Lampard, because just coming in the top 4 won't be good enough for Chelsea. The reason why I asked about the FA Cup is if they're still in that and he goes ahead and wins that.
Yeah, they beat Liverpool. They beat Liverpool.
Yeah, because that's what Chelsea do. Chelsea win trophies. To be a Chelsea manager, not even Sarri won a trophy. Do you know what I mean? And fans hated him. So if you're a Chelsea manager and you're not winning trophies, you're not doing a good job. So I don't care if your name's Frank Lampard or John Terry or whoever. If you're there and you're the manager of Chelsea Football Club and you're not winning a trophy, then you're not doing a good job. So if they go ahead and win the FA Cup this season, then fair enough. But next season, if he's finishing top 4 and they're not winning a trophy, he's going to be under immense pressure, especially with Werner and Ziyech and whoever else they may go and get, Chilwell. So I think this season you can't really judge him too much, either too well or too badly. Next season is the acid test for Frank Lampard. Can he challenge Liverpool and Man City at the top of the table? Can he put up a much, I'd say, a much better challenge for the Champions League as well, should they get there? Because we all know they might not get there. But if they're in the Europa League, they got to win it. That's the bare minimum. You've got to win it. If you're in it, you got to win it. Sarri did that. You can't do worse than him. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's the benchmark that you've got to surpass. So,
wait, let me just hit this. So this is super chat from Rosario. It said, Werner to Chelsea will be worse than the Us to Barcelona. First of all, the Us bowled at Barcelona and he hasn't actually properly failed. That is fake news. And again, Martin, you haven't seen the future. People need to stop leading with hate and need to start leading with love. Last Bundesliga striker to go to the Premier League and ball.
That's a good question. Aubameyang.
Yeah. And before then,
Erling Haaland. I've seen the future.
Oh, Nick's relax.
How many Bundesliga strikers have actually come to the Premier League?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really see that many.
Bundesliga strikers.
The top quality Bundesliga strikers usually end up at Bayern Munich, and you don't need Bayern Munich in your prime. So,
yeah.
Says if Chelsea are winning the Europa League, change that to the Champions League, and then I think you have that right, man. So okay, guys. So look, man. So maybe last.
Wait. Let me ask you.
Oh God, what?
No, because we asked, can Lampard can he build a world-class team? Because when he gets the likes of the team of Werner, surely that's just going to encourage more quality players to come. So if he has a world-class team under him, then why has he not shown enough already that if he has the world-class players, that he can be successful?
So you're saying that if he's giving world-class players, why can't he be successful?
Well, Martin, can he be? Do you think he can be once he has those?
No. For me,
you mentioned Pep, and you said he didn't have Messi. I'm not saying. Oh, sorry, he had Messi. I'm not saying Lampard's going to get a Messi. He has to be realistic. But there's still quality players out there that it looks like Lampard's able to attract.
See, my thing about it is that I just feel and I just believe that I can assess managers and coaches. He is a rookie. Like, I use the Pep example because people say, well, why can't Lampard be a Pep? And I think Pep is an anomaly. That he walked in, but he walked into the perfect team and the right team. Zidane, most similar, he's an anomaly. Are you now going to compare the team that Pep has to the team that Zidane has? And even if you gave Lampard those world-class players, Cristiano is a unique player, club-wise. Messi is a unique player, club-wise. Without Cristiano, Zidane doesn't get those 3 CLs. Without Messi, Barcelona are not as successful as they are. But even if we remove the whole Pep thing as well, and you give him the world-class players and so forth, I still feel that, it's a gut feeling because how can you know? How can you know? Because I'm just going via that he doesn't really have the experience and he doesn't have the years to be able to make those key tactical decisions in that CL game to pretty much say what's up. So, but my thing is that, you can never really judge someone until you give them the team. So if he was given all those world-class players, maybe he could. Maybe he could because he does have a good philosophy. And I think when you look at him as a player, he was a very attack-minded player. And he wants the team to play very attack-minded and very forward-thinking. So if you give him great players, quality players who are very good attack-minded, look, Chelsea's issue isn't creating chances. They create chances. It's just that they can't score goals. So if you now have goal scorers in that team, because based on how many chances that they create in games, boom, maybe we can say something,
I think there's a lot of old players there that need to go, or bad players. Obviously, we know William, Pedro, what's his name? Alonso needs to go.
Yeah, I think Pedro is heading to Valencia. They said Valencia is looking at Pedro.
The centre back situation, is he? I don't think he's happy with centre backs because I don't actually know what his best centre back partnership is. I thought Rudiger and one other, but Zuma. But
I think he likes Tomori.
Christensen. No, but the last week you started playing Christensen. So
you can't keep changing centre backs, bro. That's not how you can't keep changing centre backs.
Yeah, you need to make a partnership and stick with that. But they have had injuries. Zuma's had his injuries. Tomori's had little niggles and stuff like that. Rudiger was injured. So it has been difficult for him to find the partnership. But I think you have got 4 very good centre-backs. I think Rudiger's a solid centre-back. I'm not going to say he's world-class or anything like that, but he's solid. I think Christensen's got a great amount of potential. He was solid in Bundesliga. Hasn't looked too great at Chelsea since he's come back. Dealt with injuries as well. Tomori looks good. And Zuma, I think, is solid as well. So they've got 4 very good centre-backs. It's just finding the right partnership and being able to keep them on the pitch together for an extended amount of time. They have had a lot of injuries, so it's a bit difficult. I'll give him a bit of a pass on that one.
Final question I have, Hope. Do they need a new keeper?
The answer is look, basically say yes in how many languages you want. Like, basically yes, they yes, they do it. So from just places, I was told Us was Neymar's replacement, 105 million. Laugh my ass off. Now, Beston, let me just reply to this. First of all, the Us is a lot younger than Neymar, and Beston, I will say this yet again: until Neymar wins a World Cup, he is irrelevant with regards to Brazilian legends. Keep Us out of your mouth and tell Neymar to bring back a World Cup for me. Very simple.
Was Ousmane Dembele in the front squad that won the World Cup?
Yeah, he was in the squad.
Was he?
But,
was he not?
But
I thought he was injured.
I think he played he came on his sub, I think, in the Denmark game, and I think that was it.
Okay, so he is a World Cup winner.
He's what?
He is a World Cup winner then.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Although they'll relax, Devil. I know what you're going to do. Don't do that.
I think it's quite disgraceful that you can call him a World Cup winner, I've heard, but you want to rain on Cristiano Ronaldo's parade for the Euros when he actually started the final and scored the goals to get into that final.
What did he do in the final?
There you go.
More than us Dembele. 2008.
Thank you. He didn't do anything in the final. Look, wait. Let me just talk. So guys, we're going to take some questions. So guys, send in some questions last 10 minutes. So guys, I'm going to say this again. Let me put the mic on me right now. We've been doing this for a few months right now, and so forth. Football Dugout is the best football thing. Again, you know, the three black guys trying to give you that real content, man. To support us, and if you really love us, we need guys supporting us on our Patreon platform. So guys, there is only one tier now. For $5 a month, you can support the boys and gain access to new interesting content from us. And we're going to be I think we already have content there already with regards to combined teams and so forth. So if you like the content here, you can get extra content, but most importantly, you can help support us by being part of a Patreon, by putting in $5 a month, and it is a way of saying thank you for the kind of service that we've been trying to give you. So support your boys. And also as well, I think Devil is going to be doing Devil's Donuts also. So Devil, just explain with regards to what Devil's Donuts will be and how it will be on the Patreon.
Yeah, so for those who used to watch the Football Banter Show, you'll be familiar with Devo's Donuts. So I'll be doing a weekly show called Devo's Donuts. And it's basically just a rundown where I go through a list of people who I feel deserve to be called a donut in the world of football in that particular week. Now, when I say the world of football, that might be a player, that might be a manager, it could be a journalist, it could be fans, it could be just people on Twitter with dumb opinions.
Could be anyone in the comment section.
It could be anyone in the comments, could be Neeks, could be Hope. At the end of the day, if you say something
Rosario,
stupid,
make Martin Rosario a donut for the week, please. Thank you.
Yeah. If you say something stupid, then you'll go down as a donut. So I'll be bringing that to the Patreon every week. So you look out for that and sign up so you can get access to that.
And Nix, what will you be bringing to the Patreon, please?
Well, obviously, everyone knows that Man United being the biggest and best club in the world, I will be bringing complete unbiased.
What?
Complete unbiased analysis on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, and his reign as Manchester United, which is going to go on for much longer than some people care to accept.
Okay. So let me get this straight. You're gonna put up a biased United content thing on this Patreon.
Nothing biased at all. We're just gonna talk Solskjaer. What Solskjaer done right? You know, the small little things that he may have done wrong from time to time. He's human and all that kind of stuff. But mainly what he's done right, because we just talk about what happens the most, isn't it? So anyone that is Ollie in, join us on the Patreon. If you're Ollie out, join us as well, and we can turn you into Ollie in as well. So, we cater for all. We cater for all.
All right. So remember. So before we take in the questions, remember to join in. The link is below in the description box. I'll try and tweet it out as well. But to join in on the Patreon and look at the stuff that's out there, because we already have content out there, click on the link below in the description box. So guys,
can I just say quick?
Send in your dumbass questions. What's that?
Can I just say quick? Yeah. Send in your questions in the chat. Like before, I'm actually, it's crazy. They say time is a great healer and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually Ollie in. I'm actually not that I was ever Ollie out. I was never Ollie out. I'm never anyone out.
You don't really believe that, Nix. You don't really believe that you're Ollie in, man. Just you don't believe that. You don't believe that. You don't.
The only manager that I've been out for was David Moyes. He was the only one who I was like,
poor Moyes,
to go. Everyone else, I was.
Shout out Stormzy.
Yeah. everyone else, I was like, you know what? Gotta give them time, man. Gotta give them time. You know, Ed Woodward, what you doing? Da, 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 da. But Solskjaer, I believe in him, man. I believe in it. And I'm not saying he's a world-class coach. He ain't proven to me that. But he is the right man for Manchester United. I know it. I just know it. And, you know, you can't call me flip-flop or anything like that. I don't know if you're talking to me, because I've never been all out. But time has been, time off during this COVID. There's a lot of time to reflect and look at what's actually gone wrong with Man United. Where are we now? And this whole, you know, the atmosphere around Manchester United. You know, I'll save a little bit for the Patreon, innit? But the atmosphere around Man United right now, with the fans and the players and all of the board, in terms of the relationship with the manager, is just so much more relaxed than it has been for so long.
That was the biggest pile of nonsense I've ever had in my entire life. Let's take some questions to cleanse ourselves from that nonsense spewed by Nix. Does anyone believe Lazio can win Serie A over Juventus? No.
No, but you never know.
No.
It depends.
There's no bots.
It depends who comes out of this situation better. Who hits the road running? Because we've seen, maybe not so much in Bundesliga, because Bayern Munich just steamrolled everyone. But I don't know if anyone's been looking at the Portuguese league since that's come back. Benfica drew, Porto lost to someone, Sporting lost, Braga. And the reason I know this because I had all 4 of these teams in my accumulator and they let me down. Braga drew. So since it's come back, the big clubs just haven't got the results. So it depends on how because Juventus were hit quite hard. Dybala's had it like 3 times or something stupid like that. I thought he could only get it once. But Dybala's had COVID. You know, I think Matuidi had it. So Juventus have been hit with that more so than some other clubs. So we'll see how they come back from this break. But no, I think Juventus will win it.
Listen, Lazio are 1 point behind.
Oh, Nix, who cares? Yeah. We've seen this story before. No.
When? In the last 8 years in Syria, when have you seen this story?
When Napoli, 2 points behind them at this.
Yeah, Napoli. I think Napoli were like 1. At the points, Napoli were ahead of Juventus with I think 7 games to go.
Yeah.
7 games to go.
Yeah.
They didn't have what's his name?
Immobile.
Yeah, and him as well. They only had Dries Merton and Insigne.
Wait, weren't United supposed to go in for Milinkovic-Savic?
Yeah,
that's been on the cards for time, but now they got Bruno Fernandes.
One thing is, everything really revolves around Pogba. Like a lot of our transfers revolve around Pogba. Is Pogba staying or Pogba going? And the longer if Pogba stays, there's other areas we look at. If Pogba goes, then of course we need to replace him. And Bruno Fernandes. Everyone just wants to see Bruno and Pogba play together.
You got McTominay. You don't need to replace Pogba. He's there.
What a great goal in the
McTominay.
So Real Deal says teams outside top 5 leagues that can win the Champions League next. Oh, bro. I mean, that is Ajax.
Ajax are the only one.
Well, you know what? Okay, let's be real. Ajax should have been in that final. And you wouldn't say the Eredivisie is in the top 5 leagues. So top 5, so that's Premier League, Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga,
and Ligue 1.
Uber Eats.
Yeah. They're the top 5 leagues in Europe.
Okay.
Ajax, like you would have hoped, as you said, the last season they should go to the final. Other than that, it's Porto in the sense that Porto are always in the knockout rounds.
Yeah, but Porto
they're not going to do it. But if you're talking about outside the top 5, they are there more than Ajax. Ajax just had a brilliant team that year they went through and they got to the semis. But Porto's the only one you can rely. You can't rely on Shakhtar. Shakhtar draw Man City every year and get knocked out. So.
It's Ajax.
Gatlo says, man that says semis minimum shouldn't talk. Who says semis minimum? Who?
You.
Wait. Oh, so a Chinese man said semis minimum. Okay, well, to whichever Chinese individual that says semis minimum, cool.
Also known as have reality also known as Have. What was the one you said?
Greed. Have greed.
Have greed. Said
I think that's.
HG.
It sounds like you're schizophrenic, bro.
Well, look, that's a long story. Said says Messi was 4 years old the last time Liverpool won the title. Now, do you know what the thing is? I think Nix, you need to help your boy here. Said is, of course, a hardcore. Let me learn. Nix, you need to help your boy. Said is, of course, a massive United fan, huge United fan, and he is sickened by what is about to happen. Now, we all thought that Liverpool would get screwed over and this would be voided, but Liverpool and their fans obviously put a gun to the head of the FA and said, if you don't get these guys out on the pitch, we will literally lubricate you with 12 rounds of golden flipping bullets here. So FA, under duress, and I think this is actually illegal, that's all I'm doing, are now playing behind closed doors so Liverpool fans don't start a civil war. We've had the pandemic, we're going to have an English civil war led by Liverpool, what do they call them? Scousers.
Scousers, yeah.
So yeah, and that's the thing. So Nix, can you please tell your boy Side that he needs to accept reality that Liverpool will win this league?
Yes, make sure you sign up to the Patreon. We can have a long discussion on there about the downfall of Liverpool and the progress of Manchester United.
Okay. So let's just see what other interesting one is in them before we can get out of here. Actually, if you guys see any interesting questions, tell me.
I think there was one, and I lost it actually. But someone asked me, "Am I Glazers in or Glazer out?" I can't remember who it was. I mean, I don't know a Man United fan who isn't Glazer out. So yeah, always Glazer out from the moment they bought us.
So which front three is better, Liverpool's or PSG's? You see, my thing is that PSG's is better on paper. Liverpool's is more effective.
Yeah,
I think Liverpool have got the most effective front three in world football.
I would say man for man, PSG's. If Klopp was managing PSG, then it wouldn't be an argument. So, yeah.
But do you think Klopp could work with a Neymar?
True.
Do you think Klopp's system would work with a Neymar? Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
He's never had I know what you mean. None of his teams he's had like that player who can just kind of do what he wants in that regard, has he? So,
pick Chelsea's best front three next season. You see, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting. Because a lot of people are saying Werner striker. And I spoke to a guy who obviously is like a Bundesliga dude, and he said, no, Werner isn't very good in a striker's position. His best
on his own.
Out wide.
He's better in a partnership.
Yes, sorry, he said support striker. He said his best position is as a support striker. This guy that is a Bundesliga dude. So for me, is if Lampard wants to keep that 4-3-3-4 formation, that's three at the front, I would say Ven on the left, Jad on the right, Tammy Abraham as striker.
Sorry, who on the right?
Who?
Jad. Sancho.
Jad.
Sancho.
You're not getting Sancho.
So that's the front we're looking for. So Jad on the right doing his things. Let me land. He asked me the question. Let me answer the question. Jad on the right, your boy Ven on the left, Tammy Abraham as striker, Jad with his skills, doing his thing, your boy Werner doing his thing on the left, the combinaciones, and also as well, we'll do a little bit of the edge. The edge will be like the attacking midfielder. Guys, that is a sexual front three, man. Ooh!
You might as well just Messi on the right, Ronaldo on the left, and Lewandowski up front. Come on, let's be realistic. You're not getting...
Shall we be realistic?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be Werner left, Tammy in the middle, and Pulisic on the right.
I'm going Ziyech on the right, Pulisic on the left, and Werner through the middle.
I think Ziyech will play 10.
Unless
he really likes Mason Mount that much.
Because remember, Lampard's 10 ain't like a creative 10. To be fair, there's not many creative 10s. It's a man who's just gonna press and run and harry. He's gonna be, I feel like how Oscar was for Jose when everyone was like, De Bruyne's better, the better footballer, Max the better in the number 10. And it's like, but I want someone who's gonna run. And Oscar did that. So I think Mount could.
I think this is a good one to end with. Greatest duo of all time has to be Mar and Messi. You know what? And I'm sure Knicks will be happy with this.
Who? Neymar
Neymar.
and Messi.
Neymar.
Oh,
really?
So my thing is, this is tough. I think I need to think about it because I don't think I have a definitive answer because there's so many. Don't sleep on what Cole and New York did, man.
mm-hmm.
Because when Cole and York were doing their thing, that was the epitome of how a strike partnership, not just like I Square Square, would work. For me, again, because I'm a bit older than you guys, I remember the days of Chiesa and Crespo for Parma. Those guys were damn good. Again, you look at Trezeguet and Del Piero. Trezeguet and Del Piero were damn good. Beckham and Henry.
Yeah.
Beckham, as I always said, is one of the most technically gifted players of all time.
It's not club one, but Rivaldo and Ronaldo.
Yes, Rivaldo and Ronaldo.
Can't sleep on that one.
So when we say duos, does he mean strike duos or just
no? I think strike duo. So again, like another one would be Cavani and the Cannibal.
For Uruguay.
Yeah, it always work very well for you. No, but you see, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, damn good, yeah.
Wasn't Cavani and Forlan a better strike force than Cavani and Suarez?
But didn't they, in 2010, didn't they play as sort of a three? So Cavani was sort of a bit more wider. Then you had the Cannibal that was there. So I don't think it was a direct partnership, and Forlan was sort of like the lone striker. I think when Forlan left, Tabarez really played them as a two.
Forlan was
really operated as a two.
Forlan was cold.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you could say Neymar and Messi is the best.
No. They were in a three. They were
because it was a free.
Yeah, I never claimed them as a
free.
Someone said, Gerrard and Torres. That was a good partnership, to be fair.
Gerrard and what?
Gerrard, yeah, but then you're taking it differently because that's not really. I suppose. Because I would say Xavi and Iniesta.
Fair enough.
You see, it depends. I am looking at strike partnerships. If we're now doing beyond a partnership, does that work? Because it's like Xavi and Iniesta is like, well, Xavi is way back in midfield, and Iniesta is obviously up. So it's like this only works if it's
those two worked in tandem.
Definitely.
All the time.
Definitely.
All the time. It's like they were inside the same head.
No, they were definitely.
You see, this is just sad. I mean, what's that nonsense, man?
That's a great one to finish.
What's that nonsense? Okay, look, guys, man. That is it from us, man. We've got to get the heck out of here, man. So, guys, remember again, man. To support your boys, support the football dugouts. Remember, in the description box below is a link to our Patreon to support the boys and gain access to extra content from all three of us. You know, Devils, Donuts, Nix's bias to your United nonsense, and a host of other lovely stuff. Any final words, guys, before we can get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, just stay safe. If you go into any protests, look out for your boy Tommy. He's on the lookout.
Yeah. That's good. He's still on the loose.
Yeah.
You know, COVID is attacking us right now. So, yeah.
What a dickhead. What an absolute dickhead. You know what? Obviously where I used to work, I was in central London, and whenever there was rallies or whatever, I had to go there and just have a look, see what was going on. And every time the EDL marched, there was clashes with police. Because they'd be in the pubs from 9 in the morning. March don't start till 2. They were in the pubs from 9, and you just knew. And as soon as police come, fight. They try and beat up police. And he's going out and saying all this stuff about protesters and rare. Dickhead.
Losers, man. Losers. All right, guys. Look, man. It's all fun and good. And guys, we'll be back here Thursday. We'll be back here Thursday. Oh yeah, and also remember to follow Devo and Nix on Twitter. You can see Nix's Twitter thing there. Obviously, no Devos, but you can look in the description box below. Follow them on Twitter. Peace out, stay true, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Peace.
Peace.
And